Have sales been slow at your store?
Don't slash prices. Try this instead.
Hey, I'm Travis Miller,
And I'm Jimmy V.
and this is the show that helps you build a better dealership.
All right, T. Ding, ding, ding. Let's rock and roll. Let's get into it today.
Do it.
You know, we're talking about slashing prices or not slashing prices. You know, things have been slow. You know, I've seen some pickup in sales because of the tariff threat, and it's driving some people in. But, you know, I've talked to other dealerships that their sales are slow right now. And anytime your sales are slow, you know, one of the things that I think dealers jump to is, well, what if we offered some kind of incentive, some kind of price discount? What if we cut the prices or offered a bigger deal or discount to spur sales? And that just seems to be where everybody goes. But maybe, and I say maybe, but from our perspective, always,
Surely, yeah.
surely, don't do it. Do this instead, Travis.
No, for sure. Well, the problem is that cutting prices, even if it seems like it would make sense, right? Now, especially if like if you have too much inventory, right? Like that's a common thing. You have too much inventory's aging. Let's cut the prices to get it. There's probably certain scenarios where that absolutely makes sense, right? But as a meta strategy, like how do we approach these situations, especially if things are slow and you need to pick up? The problem with competing on price. Well, there are many problems with competing on price and slashing prices, so to speak. But one of the main problems is that there are certain players in every market who you are never going to outprice, right? And so, like being second, being the
In the
second
price.
lowest, yeah, that's first place loser, right? Like that's Ricky Bobby stuff,
Really?
right?
You're not first, you're last when it comes to low price. I mean, that's it.
Right. And so, unless you're the store who can really afford to be consistently the lowest price, in which case, I mean, we could still talk about the strategy. I would say I think there's a better play. But look, your market. If in your market there's someone who always has that lowest price, you're not going to beat them. So don't bother trying. Right. And we for many years worked with a great dealership down in the Southeast. And before he retired, the dealer there said, they'll give you a chance. Look, you don't have to advertise low prices. Everybody who's shopping will give you a chance to lose as much money as you want.
That's
Right. Which is an interesting point. But instead, so if you're not going to cut price, what should you do instead? And what you should do instead is change your message to be less or not about price, and instead to be about the customer's situations, about the problems that are preventing them from moving forward, what's keeping them stuck in the car they've got. Make the messaging about that situation, right? And about how you're standing by to help them. And you'll see an instantaneous increase in traffic leads and opportunities without changing prices. And price can be dealt with on a case-by-case basis to make deals happen. That's when price is a tool and a lever that matters. Price in the advertising is a tool that is misused all the time. It's a myth that has been foisted onto dealerships by vendors who don't have your best interest at heart, and frankly, by some other big organizations, I won't name them, that don't have your best interest at heart. Um, and
that want everything to be homogenized and
right.
equal.
An interesting question to ask yourself, like a good thought experiment, is to say, hey, who benefits from the lowest prices? And, obviously, I'll let you do that thought experiment on yourself, but some people might say, well, customers benefit, right? But I would challenge, like, do they really? And as a good parallel example, I want to look at, our company is in Florida, right? And in Florida, everyone's been to Florida. You probably know about the company Publix, which is a Florida-based company. They started in Florida. They're all over the Southeast now. But Florida is a grocery store that doesn't have the lowest prices, right?
Publix. Yeah, Publix is a grocery store that does not advertise or necessarily compete on low price.
Yeah, what did I say if I didn't say?
You said Florida.
Florida. Yeah, Florida's not a grocery store, but that's right. For the record, Florida's a state, not a grocery store. But Publix, I mean, sometimes it feels like a big grocery store. There's a lot of them.
Sometimes. And look, there are discount low price grocery stores where their differentiation is just that. There's the Aldi and the Winn-Dixie and the Food Lions, although we don't have a lot of those here.
Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wigglies, which we also don't have a lot of those here. And so there are these low-end, low-price grocery stores, right? And Publix does not compete with them. And the people that go to Publix don't go to Publix with the mindset that they're looking for the lowest price groceries. They go there because they want a shopping experience that is better than the low price grocery store shopping experience. You know, the dim lights, fluorescent, half-out fluorescent bulbs at the Winn-Dixie.
Yeah, and it doesn't smell like rotten meat and bleach. I mean, that's what the other places smell like. And so, there aren't flies inside,
If
And
you
so,
don't want that, then you're concerned more about the experience, then you're going to pay more. And if all of their marketing is around the price of the products, well, not only is it going to be a disconnected from the reason that the buyer goes there, but it's also going to resonate less, and it's not going to be very competitive. Now, of course, does Publix offer a shopping flyer with coupons and discounts? Of course, every grocery store does. But I would say that, and they're not asking Jim and Travis for marketing help and more our expertise or advice.
we're here for you guys if you need it.
Yeah, that's absolutely. But I would, if I was making that circular, I would make it differently than they make it, honestly. And I would focus on some of their competitive advantages that aren't price, because their competitive advantage isn't price.
Right.
Might there be a product this week that's cheaper than the one at Winn-Dixie? Maybe, but I doubt it. And it's one product. I mean, you're not going there to shop for one thing. Like, who does that? So the difference here, what we're saying is don't discount, don't cut prices. Try this meaning try marketing your differentiation over your products. Stop marketing the products, start marketing what is unique about your store. We always say stop selling cars and start selling solutions, because we believe that the dealership is not a merchant of vehicles. It's not a retail store for cars. It is a service business whose role in the process is pairing the vehicle and allowing people to touch, drive, and see vehicles live and in person, and helping them discover the vehicle that best meets their needs and align the financing that's required for them to get their financial situation, for them to be able to drive the car of their dreams, even if they have less than perfect credit, even if they have a trade-in, even if they have a growing family, even if they have a situation that is keeping them from thinking they can get into or buy a nicer, newer car. That is what the role is. And all of this stuff where we market and advertise like we're a Best Buy of cars is just crazy.
Yeah. Exactly. Touche.
Guess what, guys? Guess what happened to Best Buy? They got beat out by Amazon. And you say, oh, well, we don't have to worry about that because Amazon does sell cars. Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
They are selling cars now. Carmazon.com is here, baby. And we've been talking about it for 15 years. I wrote about it in Invasion of the Profit Snatchers. And now the day is upon us. If you continue to go down that path, you're going to continue to go down that path. We're in the path of Best Buy. And, it's not when you, it's the end of that road is not looking so hot.
No, the end of that road is a meat grinder, period. So, hey, look, we're passionate about this, right?
Yeah.
And
I like this topic.
No, of course. I mean, we always talk about this, but this is, we talk about rich dealers. Let's take a minute, Jim, and talk about rich dealers. All right. Rich dealers. It's like a commercial break. Rich dealers is our program, right? Where we've helped dealers, and we've been helping dealers there for 20 years. And what we help them is figure out what makes them become the only obvious choice in their market, aside from price and inventory, where they can rise above and compete based on what makes them unique, what makes them special, right? And what's really in it for the customers above and beyond low price. We've got that all figured out. We take dealers
That's right.
by the head.
This entire system. Entire system for differentiation, for making messages that stand out and sell more without having to spend more, where you attract customers for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons, to help your dealership be something more than just another place where someone can get a vehicle. And in this day and age, you have to differentiate. You have to differentiate and evolve to stay alive. And that Rich Dealers helps you do that. We have all the tools and technology, systems and strategies to make growing a dealership enjoyable, simple, and prosperous. And it's like an easy button for car dealership growth and success. There's a lot more to say about that. If you're interested, let me tell you, it's we don't sell on low price. This isn't the lowest price program you've ever seen. It's also not the highest price program you've ever seen. And it's surely not going to lock you into a contract like some of these big technology vendors in the car business. We don't have any long-term commitments or ridiculous contracts to sign.
We don't need them.
We don't need them because our customers and dealers, they stay with us because it's they love it and it's profitable, pleasurable, and profitable for them every single month. So if you're interested in that, go on over to richdealers.com. You can learn more about that. If you love this video here, this episode of Better Dealerships, share it with a friend or a colleague in the industry. And if you want to continue the conversation, join us for free at our discussion group on Facebook, betterdealerships.com. Right, Tim?
All right. Now that you got the whole package, that's everything.
Now they can get the whole package. All they have to do is go to richdealers.com. Hey, and until next time, you guys, stay classy.